Welcome to Brave New History, where we explore the captivating ideas and stories that have shaped human understanding for centuries. Today, we dive into one of the most enigmatic and thought-provoking concepts, the great architect of the universe. Is this mysterious figure the benevolent creator behind everything we know? Or could there be something more complex, even hidden, beneath this ancient title? Before we get into the thick of it, picture this. Imagine the universe as a grand cathedral. Every star, every planet, each atom meticulously placed as part of a divine design. But who is the master craftsman behind this? Is there a blueprint, or are we just wandering through an infinite cosmic puzzle? The great architect of the universe. It's more than just a lofty title. This phrase opens the door to one of the most inclusive and mysterious concepts of the divine. This isn't your everyday creator deity. It's a metaphor for God as the ultimate designer of everything. Someone who crafts existence with the precision of a master builder. But here's where things get intriguing. It's a bridge between faith and science, inviting believers and skeptics alike into the conversation. Let's start by breaking down the title. The term architect suggests more than just creation. It implies design, order, and purpose. For some, the great architect is God shaping the universe from nothing, much like an artist paints a masterpiece. For others, especially in the world of Freemasonry, this architect is a principle that transcends religious borders, a common denominator that all faiths can agree upon. In this sense, the great architect isn't just one God, but an idea that unites humanity's quest for meaning. So, why does this concept resonate with so many? Well, if you've ever looked at the night sky and marveled at the sheer complexity of the universe, you've probably asked yourself, is all of this random? Or is there an intelligent design? The great architect is the answer to that question for millions. Someone or something behind the grand design of existence itself. But here's the twist. This is not only a Christian idea. In fact, the great architect pops up in other traditions too, like Freemasonry, where it symbolizes unity among diverse beliefs. Whether you're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, or spiritual but not religious, the great architect invites you to ponder the same eternal question. What if the universe is designed, but the designer is nameless, formless, and beyond all human comprehension? Where did this idea come from? Let's hop into our time machine and travel back to 16th century Europe, a time of incredible turmoil and transformation. Religion was being questioned, revolutions were in the air, and new ways of thinking were emerging. It's here, in the middle of this intellectual storm, that the term great architect of the universe first appears. It all started with John Calvin, one of the fiery thinkers behind the Protestant Reformation. Calvin had a pretty bold idea that the universe wasn't just some chaotic mess, but a grand masterpiece meticulously crafted by God. In Calvin's view, this great architect wasn't just sitting on a cloud watching the show. He was in every detail of creation, from the spinning of galaxies to the blooming of a single flower. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Calvin's use of great architect wasn't just theological, it was philosophical and, dare I say, practical. The Renaissance was in full swing, and people were rediscovering the classics of Greece and Rome. The idea of God as an architect fit perfectly with the era's love of symmetry, order, and harmony. It was as if God was the ultimate Renaissance man, combining art, science, and spirituality into one magnificent creation. Calvin's metaphor of God as an architect caught fire, and soon it was being used far beyond the walls of the church. It appealed to scientists, artists, and philosophers, people who wanted to believe that the universe wasn't just an accident, but a deliberate, beautiful, and intelligent design. Part 3. The Demiurge, a cosmic architect in Greek philosophy. But Calvin wasn't the first to think of God as a cosmic builder. Let's rewind even further, all the way back to ancient Greece, where the philosopher Plato was cooking up his own ideas about the universe. In his famous work Timaeus, Plato introduces the concept of the Demiurge, a divine craftsman who shapes the chaotic universe into something orderly. Think of the Demiurge as the ancient Greek version of the great architect. But here's where things take a turn. The Demiurge doesn't create the universe from scratch. Instead, it takes the raw materials of chaos and molds them into something beautiful. In Plato's eyes, the Demiurge is a benevolent figure, a sort of cosmic artist who brings order to chaos. But he's not omnipotent, and he's not the source of everything. He's more like a cosmic architect, working with the materials he has to make something great, like an artist using a limited palette, but still painting a masterpiece. But wait, it gets even weirder. In Neoplatonism, which came a few centuries later, this Demiurge isn't the highest god. Instead, it's just one step down from an even greater force called the One. Imagine the Demiurge as the universe's project manager, carrying out the grand vision of a higher power. Are you starting to see the parallels here? This ancient idea of the Demiurge shares some striking similarities with the modern concept of the great architect. Both figures bring order and design to the universe. Both work with pre-existing materials, and both are shrouded in mystery. But while the Demiurge is just one cog in the cosmic machine, the great architect of Freemasonry is the ultimate source of everything. Part 4. The Great Architect in Freemasonry, a symbol of unity. Fast forward to the 18th century, and we enter the shadowy world of Freemasonry. This is where the great architect truly comes into its own as a universal symbol. Freemasonry, a secretive and ancient society, adopted the term Great Architect of the Universe to signify a higher power without aligning itself with any one religion. Why? Well, Freemasonry was all about bringing together people of different faiths, and they needed a concept of God that everyone could get behind. The great architect fit the bill perfectly, an intelligent force behind the universe that was above specific dogmas. It wasn't about what name you gave God. It was about recognizing that something greater than ourselves had laid the foundations of the cosmos. In Masonic rituals, the great architect is invoked to inspire moral integrity, unity, and wisdom. The tools of a stonemason, compasses, squares, and rulers, are transformed into powerful symbols of ethical and philosophical principles. The square represents virtue, the compass represents wisdom, and the great architect is the ultimate source of both. Believe it or not, the great architect has quietly slipped into modern culture. You've probably seen its influence in everything from sci-fi movies to conspiracy theories. Whenever you hear about ancient aliens, secret societies, or mysterious cosmic forces, you're hearing echoes of this age-old concept. Take The Matrix, for example. The architect in the movie, definitely inspired by these ancient ideas. Or how about the Da Vinci Code, where secret societies like the Freemasons are portrayed as keepers of hidden knowledge? The great architect is woven into these modern myths, continuing to fascinate and provoke curiosity. Conclusion. What's the truth behind the great architect? So, who is the great architect of the universe? Is it a symbol, a metaphor, or a real divine force behind the cosmic blueprint? Whether viewed through the lens of religion, philosophy, or modern culture, the great architect remains one of humanity's most compelling ideas. It's the perfect intersection of science and spirituality, logic and mystery, and it asks us to contemplate one profound question. Is there a design to the universe? And if so, who designed it? Thank you for joining us on this mind-expanding journey. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for more explorations of the ideas that shape our world. Until next time, keep asking the big questions.